answer is some form of peace. All pain is healed, all misery replaced with joy. All prison doors are open and all sin is understood as merely a mistake. As merely a mistake. Father, today we will forgive your world and let creation be your own. Help us forgive, for we would be redeemed. Help us forgive, for we would be at peace. God's answer is some form of peace. All pain is healed, all misery replaced with joy. All prison doors are open and all sin is understood as merely a mistake. As merely a mistake. Father, today we will forgive your world and let creation be your own. We have misunderstood all things, but we have not made sinners of the holy sons of God. What you created sinless so abides forever and forever. Such are we, and we rejoice to learn that we have made mistakes which have no real effects on us. Sin is impossible, and on this fact forgiveness rests upon a certain base more solid than the shadow world we see. Help us forgive, for we would be at peace. Father, today we will forgive your world and let creation be your own. Help us forgive, for we would be redeemed. Help us forgive, for we would be at peace. God's answer is some form of peace. All pain is healed, all misery replaced with joy. All prison doors are opened and all sin is understood as merely a mistake. As merely a mistake. All right, lesson 359. God's answer is some form of peace. All pain is healed, all misery replaced with joy. All prison doors are open, and all sin is understood as merely a mistake. The first and only paragraph. Prayer to God the Father, it's all in italics. Father, today we will forgive your world and let creation be your own. We have misunderstood all things, but we have not made sinners of the holy sons of God. What you created sinless so abides forever and forever. Such are we. And we rejoice to learn that we have made mistakes which have no real effects on us. Sin is impossible, and on this fact, forgiveness rests upon a certain base more solid than the shadow world we see. Help us forgive, for we would be redeemed. Help us forgive, for we would be at peace. Okay. Let me say again, we're almost at the end here. Jesus is really summing it all up. You know, these every lesson is really a microcosm that just is a hologram of the whole thing, right? So each lesson stands alone. Each lesson contains the whole within it. God's answer is some form of peace. Okay, God's answer is some form of peace. The quiet answer, right? So whatever form it might take, right? And it might come in many different forms. The form does not matter, right? It's the content. The content is peace. The form can change, right? Just like the form of the ego's answer can take many forms, but the form of the ego's answer is always pain, misery, suffering, right? Not peace, not joy. But God's answer, some form of peace, all pain is healed, all misery replaced with joy. All prison doors are opened, and all sin is understood as merely a mistake. And this is a very important point that Jesus has made throughout the course, and is really like a very key aspect of the course, which is sin. According to the ego, sin cannot be corrected. Sin is worthy of punishment. Sin is worthy of damnation. Sin is worthy of condemnation and damnation, which means that it cannot be corrected. And that's where we get this idea of eternal hell, is that you need to go to hell for eternity, because what you have done is so far beyond the pale that it cannot be corrected, and you will never learn, and you will never be able to correct the sin that you have done. But what the course is saying is everything can be corrected. There is nothing that cannot be corrected. And this course is coming to help us to correct the mistakes in thought that have led us to the place where we even think that sin is real, and we think the world is real, and we think all of this is very serious, and this is all very real. And so what we end up doing is we make sin very real. We make the issues, the separation that we feel between ourselves and our brothers, we make it a real thing, and we make it something that cannot be breached. We could never breach that separation, that wall of separation, or that gap of separation between ourselves and our brothers. And so we are doomed, we are damned, we are condemned to hell. But it's the hell that we have agreed to, and that we have made. We made up the dream, right? We made up this dream. We dreamed this dream, the impossible dream of separation. We've made it real in our minds, and so it has become real. But Jesus, in the course, is coming to remind us, no, it's not real. You think it's real, but it's not real. And here's why it's not real. And he goes to some lengths to explain to us throughout the course, especially the text, why this world is not real. Now, whether we believe it or not that's up to us. That's up to us whether we want to trust what Jesus is saying in the course. And the way that we can trust it better is by practicing the course, right? Practicing the workbook. All right. So paragraph one, only one and only paragraph. Father, today we will forgive your world and let creation be your own. And what is God's creation? God's creation is loving. Love, in love, there is no need for forgiveness, right? There is no need for suffering. There's only love, love without end. And that one love, that one reality, which is love, can have no separation, can have no need for forgiveness, can have no pain and suffering. So when we forgive the world, that's what we let God's creation be a world in which forgiveness is not even necessary. We have misunderstood all things, but we have not made sinners of the holy sons of God. It's an interesting phrasing, those two sentences. It's just a way, I think, of saying, Jesus saying that we're learning that sin is not real, and we do not want to see our brother as sinful, because when we see our brother as sinful, we see ourselves that way, and we deny God in that. We deny that God is loving, right? And God is love and only love. What you created sinless, so abides forever and forever. Right? So we are I keep saying it this way, but I think it might be helpful. We are the loving creation of a loving creator. Full stop, end of story. Which means that we are completely sinless. That is our nature. That is our true nature. And that can never be changed, because God's nature can never be changed. And thus our nature, if we are created by a loving creator, which God is, and God is perfect love, then and our reality is also perfect love, and perfect love cannot hold fear or sin or guilt. And so whenever we make sin real, we deny that. But this now is a reminder that it's not real, right? And we don't have to make sin real. And if we do make sin real, that's okay. We just correct the mistake. Just a mistake. We can correct it. All right. What you created sinless, so abides forever and forever. Such are we. And we rejoice to learn that we have made mistakes which have no real effects on us. Right? So anything and everything that we've ever done that we feel makes us unworthy of the love of God, Jesus saying, no, that's not true. Everything that ever happened can be corrected. Anything that you have done, you can correct. And you can remember, once again, that even the idea of correction might need correction, right? In the sense that it's all working out in some divine way that we cannot understand, right? So even the feeling that I made a mistake, well, there's also the idea that there are no mistakes in reality, because everything is working itself out just as it needs to work itself out. But that's not to say that you cannot correct a mistaken judgment, a mistaken action, whatever it may be, but just don't make it sinful. Don't make it a sin. Sin is impossible, and on this fact, forgiveness rests upon a certain base more solid than the shadow world we see. Right? So, basic premise: sin is impossible, and this is a fact. Jesus is just saying this is a fact, and on this fact, but this is the fact on which forgiveness rests. this is a more certain base, more solid than this whole shadow world. This world is illusory. This world is a dream. Sin is impossible. God has never changed. God does not know of sin. If God has never changed, that does not know of sin, and God could not create something sinful, then this world is not God's creation. This is a creation of the mind that thought that sin was possible. And we can correct that mind that thought that sin was possible, and we can bring correction to that mind, right? And remember this fact that sin is impossible, separation is impossible. The tiny mad idea is impossible. Seemed to take effect, but it really did not. Help us forgive, for we would be redeemed. Help us forgive, for we would be redeemed. Help us forgive, for we would be at peace. All right. Now, our true nature does not need to be redeemed, and our true nature is already peaceful. But from our perspective here, on the other side of the veil, so to speak, in the world of separation, in the world of duality, we feel we need to be redeemed. We feel we need to be saved. We feel we need peace. But really what we need to do is we need to remember that peace is our nature, right? We are already saved. We are already peace, joy, love, and all the things that are of God, of love. And so it's already done. And that's really the course's greatest teaching and greatest point, which it calls the atonement principle, is that we're already that. That's never changed, right? All we need to do is remember. And this whole course is just a way to remember what is already true, right? And what we already really know in our heart, we already know this. We've just forgotten, chosen to forget, and we can choose to remember if we want, right? Correct the mistake. Just end with a short version of the song and go our merry ways. God's answer is some form of peace. All pain is healed, all misery replaced with joy. All prison doors are open, and all sin is understood as merely a mistake. As merely a mistake. Father, today we will forgive your word and let creation be your own. Help us forgive, for we would be redeemed. Help us forgive, for we would be at peace. God's answer is some form of peace. All pain is healed, all misery replaced with joy. All prison doors are open, and all sin is understood as merely a mistake. As merely a mistake. God's answer is some form of peace. All pain is healed, all misery replaced with joy. All prison doors are open, and all sin is understood. It's merely a mistake. It's merely a mistake. All right. Peace. Peace out. Rock on.